Have you ever thought that you can't make good or decent art because you don't have those fancy, expensive pencils that you see all over social media? Today, I'm going to show you how I drew this cherry, which I'm hoping you think looks good and decent, using cheap colored pencils. Hi guys, I am Kylie and I'm the artist behind Kylie Sketches, and I make all sorts of art videos here, including tutorials, random art videos such as this one, and occasional vlogs. So today I'm going to start off by swatching these cheap colored pencils. Now the pencils that I got are the Staedtler color pencils, and I think they're supposed to be like student grade or whatever. They're very cheap, and I start by swatching them just so that I can see what kind of colors I am working with here. And then here I go and I'm trying to blend them together and layer them just to get a feel for how these pencils work, because they are going to be a bit different to the normal, like more artist based pencils. So I think it's important to get to know whatever pencils that you're using on just a scrap piece of paper just to see how they work. Here I am trying to see how these pencils would work with OMS, which is odorless mineral spirits. When doing those tests, I noticed that they didn't take a lot of layers, so I decided then that I would do the OMS method. And I'm sketching two cherries because I originally was going to compare these cheap pencils to the more expensive ones, but I think I'm going to save that for a different video. I do just want to start off by saying it is important to start with a somewhat accurate sketch of whatever it is you're trying to draw, because if you don't have an accurate sketch, nothing you do is really going to look the way you want it to. I think the trick to working with cheaper art supplies is to figure out a decent technique that you can use with the pencils in order to yield good results. Here I use little circular motions while going up and down in the direction of the cherry, and I don't burnish yet. I try and use many light little layers to build up some colors, and then I use OMS to blend out those colors, and I keep layering. And you'll know how much you can layer by doing tests before you start your actual piece. I mix one or two other colors into the cherry just to create a little bit more depth, so everything isn't looking just one color, which is very unrealistic. Also important to try and use a whole lot of other colors, because the cheaper pencils tend not to have a lot of pigment in them. So to build up some depth, you do need to use other colors. I have skipped ahead here and you'll see that the cherry is looking a lot redder. I continue with that technique that I used earlier, just working in small circular motions and then blending out with OMS in between layers, waiting for it to dry and carrying on. And you'll see here I used some blue colors to try and get some of those shadows, because the dark red could only go so dark. I burnish with the deepest red that I have over that blue pencil to really add that deep red color. It's all about working with what you have. The highlights I made sure to preserve and leave them white, because most white pencils, when you use color pencils, aren't good anyway, so it's best just to try and preserve the white paper as much as possible. And there we have it, a little cherry, and hopefully you think it looks good. Like I said, use those blue colors to add some depth and really get contrast, and that's what makes the piece realistic. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.